You're watching ElvisDuran.com.
You know, Lady Gaga, we do these interviews with the brightest stars and up and coming and solid stars and movie stars and TV actors and this and that. The thing is, when people like you today come in to talk to us, you are, before you walk through the door, you're like, okay, I'm going to go in there. We're going to do this. I'm going to tell them what we need to get done because I know it's a limited amount of time. My problem with these interviews is sometimes I don't feel like we can get to the basement of the building.
Of my building?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go.
No, I'm not saying I want you to turn on the waterworks or
no.
I'm just, you know what? I just wish we had more time with you in a different forum.
Well, here's the truth. I think what you're trying to dig in my basement.
What am I trying to dig out of your basement?
I think the truth is that since the beginning of my career, although I am a pop star now, yes, I was not generated by a factory. I was not generated by a corporation. I am very grateful to all the corporations that have helped me to distribute my materials and my ideas to the world. But the reality is, it is a very scary thing in the music world and in the art world when the corporate world starts to take credit for the work of the artist. Because the artist, this is where it all happens. It's if our minds go, there's nothing else. Somebody gives me a canvas at the beginning of every album cycle, and it's blank, and I'm left with a paintbrush, and I sit by myself. And that is the thing that I want people to know and recognize, not just about me, but about themselves. There is nobody that comes in and says, oh, it should look like this. Oh, it should feel like this. I know what you should do with art pop. You should go here. That is not what happens. There's a canvas, a paintbrush, and an artist. And then the ideas start to come, and that is what art pop is. And what I want my fans to know is you will not be defined by the people that hire you. You will not be defined by the corporate world around you. You will be defined by the ideas that are in your own heart and in your own mind. And it is just you and that brush and that canvas. And you will work hard enough that one day you will sign only your name at the bottom of that blank page.
Let's smoke a joint.
I smoked a lot of joints.
No, are you still smoking pot? I mean,
no, I'm not actually. I had to stop.
Why?
I was addicted to it.
Really?
Yes.
Were you addicted to it because of an addiction, or you thought you were creating better if you were stoned? Or?
Oh, I mean, this is a very long story. But actually, I mean, I've been addicted to various things since I was young.
Right.
And most heavily over the past 7 years. And I kind of, a friend gave me this term, I lily pad from substance to substance, because I get to a point where I can't go any further with one substance, so I have to move to another.
That's frightening.
Yes, it can be. But with marijuana, I actually decided to speak about this because although I do think it is the best of the drugs to choose from in terms of, when you're playing around and experimenting, I just want young kids to know that you actually can become addicted to it. And there's this sentiment that you can't, and that's actually not true, because I have been addicted to it, and it's ultimately related to anxiety coping, and it's a form of self-medication. And I was smoking up to 15 to 20 marijuana cigarettes a day with no tobacco.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I was living
stuff
on a totally other psychedelic plane, numbing myself completely. And looking back, I do see now that some of that had to do with my hip pain. I didn't know where the pain was coming from, so I was just in a lot of pain and very depressed all the time and not really sure why. If you look up about labral tears as well as any sort of dysfunction in the bones in your body, it can cause all sorts of depression and disorientation, vertigo. So I was experiencing this all while on a world tour. Mm-hmm. So I would get high all day and then sleep it off during the afternoon because I would never be high or drunk on stage ever.
But you figured it out, obviously. You opened the hood and you fixed it.
Well, it's a battle every day. And I don't want to lie about it because, there's no reason to lie. But the truth is that it is very hard to it is very hard to be famous. It's wonderful to be famous because I have amazing fans. But it is very, very hard to go out into the world when you're not feeling happy and act like you are. Because I'm a human being too, and I break. And I think that there's an assumption, not just by, the corporate world or by humanity, that I cannot break because I am alien woman and I am unstoppable. But the truth is that I can break, and I did. And I was not very good at breaking. I lost everything that I love. I was in a wheelchair for 6 months. I did a lot of drugs and took a lot of pills, and I let it all kind of go because, I didn't know if I was going to live for the next year or two. When your schedule gets that out of control and you're not able to feel the ground anymore, you lose a sense of your own soul. And I'm just very happy that I have wonderful people in the House of Gaga around me, have an amazing family, and everything is moving towards a really, really wonderful place in my life. And the art rave is the happiest moment of my life so far because I really got to show, look, I think my Achilles heel in this business has always been from the beginning, like, oh, is she a rich girl from New York? Does she go to a private school? But actually, I did go to a privileged school. I did go to a private school. I did have a great education. My parents were not rich. They sent me to a great school with all the money that they had. They were the first to go to college in their families. But I am fucking smart. And I will no longer allow this thing that was my Achilles heel to remain there.
This is a fantastic message. And I think years from now, in hindsight, these days right now are going to be some of the most important days of your life. Coming from where you are describing you were, and I'm sure you're just barely hitting the surface with us on what you've been through, and now your album coming out, and now you when you talk about then versus now and tomorrow, you can see how you light up, and it's a totally different world for you.
It was hard. I felt dead.
But you're talking about things in the past, no longer.
No longer.
How are you today?
I'm good today.
Excellent. That's what's important. That's why I really truly think years from now, these days will be very important.
Yes, and they're important for my fans to know that you can find. I do put that pressure on myself. I have to be high to be creative. I need that. That's an era in my life that happened for over 10 years. Can I be brilliant without it? And I know that I can be, and I have to be, because I want to live, and I want my fans to want to live, and I don't want them to torture themselves in the way I have. I want to show people that I will last past 27, and I will last longer, and so will you, and I want to change this code in the atmosphere that in order to be remembered, I must die young. In order to be remembered as a legend, I must be dead first. This is unhealthy. The way that we are treated by the media, this is not me. I'm just one of many people that are treated poorly by the media. This is show business. We are here to entertain you. We are here to make you feel joy, to make you feel love, to make you have a good time. It is time to turn over the leaf. It is time for me, the artist, to sit in the front of the corporation and for the corporate world to support all the artists, because we are here to bring the ideas, to bring the joy, to bring the vision to the world.
So let's do it. What's the most fun, festive song of this album? I think we need to play it.
Okay.
Come on.
Gosh, there's a lot.
What do you have? What do you want to hear?
Fun and festive. It's the whole album is fun and festive. That's like a very good description of the album. Fun, festive, and bone-crushing beats.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We need a little Christmas right this very minute. I want a fun song.
Okay.
What do you want to hear?
I would love for you to play, actually, GUY.
Okay.
This is a great song. This is about third wave feminism, this song.
Third wave feminism?
Yeah, well, I'll explain.
Explain this to me.
They'll understand. I'm not really the kind of girl that really gets along in conversations with women when they're going on and on about how they need to be on top all the time.
Right.
Because I'm, very, I'm a power bottom. And I'm quite proud of being a power bottom because, and I like to be on top at times, but the truth is that I'm in charge at work all day long, and when I go home, I don't like to be in charge. I like to make dinner and sit on the couch and do what I'm told. So And I actually think that that's okay.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's okay because it really brings a sense of chivalry back into my relationship.
It takes a lot of self-control to let someone else make the decision.
Yes. So the song GUY is actually stands. So I say I want to be that GUY, the girl under you guy.
Okay.
Oh.
Now we know what GUY is all about. Lady
Yes.
Gaga.
And you can also sing GAY
Of course.
if you'd like.
Sing along.
And we the guy around you guy if you like.